this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in Wrestling with Platinum, against AEW Dark Elevation. This is episode number 8. It went about an hour and 40 minutes, 12 matches, perfectly reasonable, really tight show as far as the in-ring goes. There are a couple of really outstanding performances, and I'm going to definitely highlight those people. In particular, Reka Tehaka, I thought, looked fantastic. I love the modification that Red Velvet... Okay, I'm just going to have to get into these matches. Now, we had, let's say 3 matches. We'll call it 4. Now 3 matches that I would call competitive matches. And for competitive matches, I grade them on a 3-check scale, 1 check mark. If both entities in the match end up looking great, a 2nd check mark if the right person is put over in a way that is definitive, and a 3rd check mark if something is advanced that can be used on Dynamite or something that helps advance either a new move perhaps or an aspect of character or gimmick that enhances and increases what's going on. For the squash matches / jobber matches, if you want to be an asshole about it, 3 check marks as well. 1 check mark if the right person is put over in a definitive fashion, a 2nd check mark if they look good in the process, and a 3rd check mark if the person who is in a losing effort looks really good in that losing effort or gets a disproportionately large amount of offense by the winner. We go into our first match. It's Miro against All Day, and Miro smashes the shit out of him. Finds good ways. Miro's getting good at this. You can get offense on me, but it's only through my mistake or you dodging out of the way is the only way that you kind of get over on me, which is how it should be in these squash matches. Miro's new serious attitude definitely reflected. He wins with the game over and then kind of puts on a choke afterwards, which I thought was interesting and maybe a foreshadowing of something that he's going to do to somebody more prominent in the future. 3 check marks. Second match, Abaddon against Ryo Mizunami. This was an upset. I actually thought Ryo was probably going to win this match based on momentum lately. Abaddon, though, not to be an asshole, but can you see what I'm saying about that Cemetery Driver / Black Widow? She has a hard time applying it to people of equal or greater size, and we saw it here, but managed to make it work. Abaddon has found a good wrestling style, because if she's going to be in these competitive matches, she's got to find a way to wrestle that still looks credible and fits with what she's doing. I think she had her best match to date here with Rio, and she won. 3 check marks. Match number 3, Jon Moxley against Andrew Palace, who's definitely working his thing as hard as he could. Jon Moxley having unscripted on his shirt I thought was hilarious and a nice touch. And Jon Moxley winning with a Falcon Arrow that immediately he turned into a rear naked choke I thought was really cool. Jon Moxley, I think he's never looked better in terms of in-ring, but also his just look and his physical appearance. I think he's on all cylinders right now. Fantastic. 3 check marks. Great job all around. Match number 4 between D3 and 10. 10 gains more and more confidence. That full Nelson looks great. 3 check marks. Again, I don't have a lot to say on these things because I'm not a bell-to-bell guy. I just sort of note changes and things of significance. I will say that this episode of Elevation would have been far and away my favorite if they had sort of more, just a couple of promo segments thrown here and there, but they didn't do that. And unfortunately, it's one of those things that really distinguishes them from Dark in general, and they didn't do it. And they also didn't have a moment where they really emphasize somebody and let them stand out in a segment. And so that was disappointing. But as far as the matches go, this was my favorite episode of Elevation to date. But as far as it, I wouldn't consider it the best show because they just didn't have those promo segments that I like. And boy, did those punches by Angel Garza look like shit. Sorry, Raw's on now as I'm recording this. Orange Cassidy against VSK. Again, Orange Cassidy is feeling it. He's in a good rhythm. VSK, I thought, was a really good opponent for him. 3 check marks. VSK almost won our Performer of the Week. Orange Cassidy with the beach break, by the way. But somebody else just did a little bit better. Match number 6, FTR against the Hughes brothers. Probably my favorite match as far as just going at it back and forth, along with Abaddon and Rose match, actually. The Hughes brothers gave them a lot of competition. FTR is expert at just making matches look very competitive and very good, but they won in definitive fashion ultimately, as they should. Match number 7, Maddie Ronkowski just got demolished by Nyla Rose. Vicky Guerrero's promo beforehand, I actually liked it. Nyla Rose wins, 3 check marks. We've had 3 check marks all along. We've only had 2 episodes of Elevation where we had 3 check marks all night long. Boy, Angel Garza really looks like shit in this match. He's trying hard, and now he's just hitting way too hard to compensate. It's tough. What does it tell you when a match on Raw is not executed as well as matches on Elevation? It tells you that Elevation's doing something right. Baron Black looks really great here against Nick Koromoto. Nick Koromoto wins the match in definitive fashion. Baron Black does a good job of making him look incredibly formidable, as he should. 3 check marks here. Red Velvet and Reka Tehaka. Reka Tehaka did the best job. She is our performer of the week and our enhancement talent of the week. And Red Velvet switching to that jumping spinny kick thing for her finisher, I think is a good move, because lots of people are doing variations on a Claymore kick. So she's smart to get to something else. Great stuff from Red Velvet. Looks smooth, looks confident. Looks all elite, frankly. And Reka Tehaka, I'm definitely going to emphasize the fact that you are a performer of the week. Why? I think everything from gimmick work to her facial expressions, how she sold, how she looked dominant over Red Velvet at times because she was physically bigger. All of that spells good things. I love the look. I'm biased. I get it. I grew up in Hawaii. I'm going to be partial to everything that she's doing, but I really think that she's my new, I'll say she's my new Kylan King. And that Kylan King was somebody who I thought right away from the moment she got there, you know, I think they should eventually sign her. And I'm not one of these people that's like, they should sign everybody they bring on board. But Reka Tehaka, I think if they keep using her, I think they're going to be happy with her, and she's someone they should bring on board. Yeah, I said it, and I'm sorry that I can't regret it. Match number 10, Private Party against Duke Davis and Gaming Jones. Something I like that Private Party's doing is they're winning in unconventional ways after kind of cheating. I think they're the only ones really doing that. Whereas even the Acclaimed always managed to get it. We were going to get in that top rope elbow drop. But here, Private Party wins with this kind of weird thing that leads into a sunset flip, which leads into a pin. I really liked it. I liked Private Party as heels under the tutelage of Matt Hardy. I think it works. 3 check marks all around. Willow Nightingale looks pretty good against Thunder Rosa, but then so does everybody. Thunder Rosa is definitely on a roll, and this match just continues that trend. You can see how happy Thunder Rosa is to perform, how solid her ring work is. I think anybody who would benefit, she runs a school, right? Or she helps run a school. I think you would definitely benefit from training with Thunder Rosa as well. I just think the world of her. She wins here with the Thunder Driver. Great performance. Good stuff. Dillon McQueen really showing out and looking good with his teacher, QT, here. Gets his nose busted open. Those forearms looked great. Dillon McQueen, obviously green as grass, but I don't say that as an insult. I say that he's managing to really rise to the level, and they would be crazy to not bring him back. Loses here to QT. QT, an ass, has him beat with the cutter, but picks him up and then hits him with the crossroads after busting his nose open and all kinds of brutal stuff. QT and Cody going to happen on Wednesday night, and I'm looking forward to that. Match number 11. And by the way, we had 3 check marks all night. Is it going to happen? Let's see. Match number 11, Austin and Colton Gunn looking really good here in the Chaos Project. And I just think the world of Serpentico. And I think now that Serpentico and Luther have cut out some of the silly stuff, not all of it, because that's part of their gimmick, but they've cut out a lot of the silly stuff and they're looking more formidable. I think it makes the wins bigger for the other team. And that certainly applies here. Colton wins with that double underhook neckbreaker that they call the Colt 45. 3 check marks. I believe we're going to have a 3 check mark night, but we will call this a competitive match as well. Colt Cabana and number 5 against the Blade and Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy eventually wins with the leech, but the match really does look good. Colt Cabana, by the way, big credit due for letting 5 shine, and 5, when he had his opportunities to shine, absolutely did so. Great job all around. Both teams look great. That's a check mark. Blade and Matt Hardy ultimately got the win, and I think it was the right call winning. That's a second check mark. And then this idea that Matt Hardy can insert himself and getting that leech move over is a third check mark. Great stuff. Again, though, let's not get away from those promo segments. That's one of the things that makes Elevation really special. I will also make another note that I like Tony Schiavone and Paul White both wearing the collared shirts. I think it's a good look. And Paul White's commentary has gotten exponentially better. He learns fast. He's a smart cat. And so are you for listening to me, Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling.